Whiskey friends, far and wide, we are live. What's up, y'all? Happy Tasty Tuesday. Welcome to Happy Hour, the people's stream, as somebody said the other day. I'm Erik, your humble malt user, beaming the signal from the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. What's good, everybody? If you are new to the channel, say hi. Drop your name in the chat. Share your city or state. Let us know where you're joining us from. We have a nice show set up tonight. We're going to be checking out a new whiskey for me. I'll be interested to try it and see what that's all about. I have some other info to share about the ongoing blind rye tasting. Warming things up here with a small dram of 40 Creek Copper Pot Canadian whiskey. Pretty tasty stuff. We got 8 folks in already. What's going on? Before we get into anything else, as always, I'm going to say hello to the early birds in the chat. First in the door tonight. Ho, long time no see, Emily Chambers. Be well, hit that thumbs up, have fun. You know it. Like, comment, subscribe, y'all. What's up, Emily? Good to have you in. You were here early. Wow. Right on our heels, Paul M. in Montreal. What's up? Hey, Malt User and Whiskey Friends. Paul, good to see you, sir. Mista French is here, sipping on a nice Four Roses single barrel tonight. A beautiful 27-degree spring evening here in Duluth. Yeah, it was warm here in Chicago. It was like in the 30s, man. You know how it goes. Got to savor those days in the winter. Gerbic's in the house from Jupiter, Florida, saying hello to Emily, French, and friends. And Paul, good stuff. Ontario's here. Peter White. Cheers, cheers, Peter. Good to see you, sir. The suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. It is IC86. How are you, sir? Good to see you. London. All the way over in the UK, sending a signal across the Atlantic. It's our good friend James Morgan. Prost, how are you, sir? Glad to have you here. East Texas, here's our boy Daniel H. Yo to all, and cheers to Whiskey Friends. Good stuff. Quad Cities, Illinois. Chris S. How are you, sir? I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Hope you are too. I don't know how the winter is over in London, but we had a little bit of a rough week here in Chicago. Finally got that huge snowstorm that was seemingly evading us for some time, but it's warmed up quite a bit. New York City, the Big Apple. Jack the Pickled Hound. What's up, buddy? Great to see you, man. Always good to have Jack in the house. Paige is here. Jersey representing. Good evening to you. Nice to see you, man. And Keen Dreams. Hi, everyone. First time joining the Tuesday live program. Watching from Detroit, Michigan. Motor City's in the house. What's up? Good to have you here. Thank you for joining. Always good to have some new faces. Phoenix is in the house with a big Guten Tag from the desert. It's Leo. How you doing, Leo? Good to have you. Appreciate that, man. Be like IC86. Smash that like button. It's always helpful. Thank you, bud. Donner Pass, NoCal. Just watching over here from switching over from Whiskey Crusaders. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know they were on. Very cool. Good stuff. Great to see you, Donner. And I did get your email. Appreciate that. I'll have some exciting samples from courtesy of our good friend Donner Pass coming our way soon. So little impromptu live stream to unbox that will surely be in the works in the next couple of weeks. I was mostly doing some last-minute paperwork while they were doing the old Carter talk. I do, however, have a couple of the bottles. Okay. Oh, you must have been talking about our friends over at Whiskey Crusaders. Okay, cool. Got the Glencadam 10 3 years before everyone discovered how good it is. Well, yeah, I'm late to the game on this for sure. I'm hoping to learn just what I've been missing this evening. I joined in the paperwork earlier than flushed it. Good stuff. Some welcomes coming into Keen Dreams from Paul M. Right on, Paul. And Here is our good friend from Los Angeles, the city of angels. Greetings to Muser and the Malt Wrong Girls. Cohen, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, sir. Glad to have you in the house. Yeah, it never ends, man. It is warming up. Yes, it is definitely this week at least. You know, when you live in the Midwest, 30-degree weather starts feeling real warm after a while. So I've been enjoying it. I almost opened windows today. Definitely turned my heat real low. It was nice. Happy to recycle. Good stuff. All right, y'all. All right. Finishing off a little bit of this 40 Creek Copper Pot. I had to top myself off while I was saying hi to everybody. We got 12 folks in. This is great. Tonight on the show, I'm going to uncork and taste this increasingly highly thought of whiskey, Glencadam, 10 years old single malt Scotch. I have never had this. I'm very eager to crack it open and share my thoughts with y'all. If you are a fan of Glencadam, had any Glencadams, do let me know in the chat. Would love to hear what you guys think about Glencadam. I will get into this a little bit more in just a moment. I do want to share a little bit of an update with folks. So as many of you have seen over the course of the past week and a half, the One Rye to Rule Them All 20 Blind Rye Challenge brackets have been periodically released. And all 4 of them are now live on the channel. You can go either look at the blind tasting playlist, or you can just look for them individually. They're all posted. And I wanted to let folks know that if you are on Patreon, after the close of the live show tonight, you will be getting an early release of the finals. So that finals video will be in your email inbox shortly after the end of tonight's live stream. And then it will be posted on the channel probably about maybe closer to the weekend. So keep an eye out for that. I do have a review, as always, coming up Friday. Sherry Bomb, Glen Rothis Whiskey Maker's Cut. So that will be showing up on your guys' feeds on Friday morning. And yeah, I'm very excited. I do want to just say thank you again to folks who sent super chats, who have watched and liked the Blind Rye tasting videos, those who supported on Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. Y'all made it as good as it was. I had a lot of fun doing it. And given the kind of positive response I've seen, I'll probably be doing another one of these types of things relatively soon, maybe later this year, maybe looking at doing some sherry-aged Scotch whiskeys, something like that. So we'll try that out. So it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, so folks who are on Patreon, keep an eye on your email inbox tonight if you are just chomping at the bit to see which one of those 4, the ones that made it to the final 4, are going to be the winners. So should be a lot of fun. Okay, with that out of the way, let me crack this thing open. And then we'll start talking some Glencadam. Do let me know in the chat. Anybody had Glencadam? Get at me. I want to hear what folks have to say about this distillery. This has been a distillery that I have been slowly exploring. Now, I did do a review earlier in 2021 of a Glencadam whiskey called the 13 Years Old Reawakening. That was really, really quite good. And it really was just, again, in the name, a release after their distillery had opened, after it had been closed down for a little while. Since then, subsequently, we have a whole bunch of other Glencadams, age-stated for the most part. I did recently see a non-age-stated one. Ooh, and a nice pop with a real cork. I'm going to get this in the glass and let it rest. So I did really like the 13 years old. Here in the States, you can definitely find this 10. There's also a 15 and a 21 that are relatively available. There's also 25. If you look overseas, however, there's a whole bunch more Glencadams. I've seen a 17 port. There's like a 14. I don't know if it's a sherry, something like that. There's a whole bunch of them overseas, so I'm kind of jealous of that. But this 10 years old, again, is been getting some good amount of attention from folks in the whiskey community. And, you know, having liked the 13 as much as I did, I figured, hell, why not get the like cheaper one and see what's going on with it? So Glencadam Distillery is up in the Highlands, and they opened 1 year after mass distillation started. So this is 1825, I believe. Yeah. So here's the great news about this Glencadam 10. This is 46%. It is non-chill filtered, and it's natural color. So this is a craft presentation. They are putting their whiskey out without a care for all of the cheap marketing gimmicks and tricks that some Scotch whiskey distillers like to do in order to sell their whiskey. From what I understand, all of their age-stated stuff seems to be in this craft presentation. I did see a non-age statement one this over the weekend called the Origins. I think it was only 43%. But that is one that's coming in behind this one in terms of, I guess, just a cheap NAS introductory one. But for the most part, Glencadam, they're about age statements, they're about craft, they're about quality. Here's what the whiskey's got to say. Blah, blah, blah. Glencadam Distillery is located about a half a mile outside the ancient city of Royalburg in Brecon. This expression has been bottled at 46% to retain the whiskey's natural characteristics and subtlety of taste. By not chill filtering this whiskey, it ensures that the aromatic components of the whiskey are presented to enhance presence and flavor. Yes, good things. No caramel coloring has been added to this single malt, so the naturalness of the whiskey from the cask can be enjoyed in full. Now, this is what you like to see. I'm already very, very happy with this. Yeah. So we're looking at a Highland whiskey. It says right here, the rather delicate Highland single malt Scotch. As a point of comparison, which we'll do maybe a little bit later, I do have the 21 here, and this one says the exceptional. So they have a little bit of extra advertising on their name, whatever. Okay. Let me get that 40 Creek down the hatch. We got 15 folks in, which is awesome. Let me catch up on the chat, and then we'll get into this. And I have the Glencadam 14 sitting in the bar, I think. Yes. Glencadam 21 is amazing. I agree. Really enjoy it. Early release of the finals. It's about time we shut this thing down, then isn't it? Leo. Went through a bottle of the Glencadam 10 a few years ago. Decent bottle, but I need to grab another to test my memory. Good stuff. Well, hopefully I'll be able to help do that for you a little bit tonight. Jack said I hooked up with the 15 and the 13 Glencadam. Very nice. All right. High praise around the board from the community about Glencadam so far. Donner Pass. Glencadam 10 is interesting. Very tropical fruit and spirit driven, as I remember. Been a while, but I remember it being in contrast to the 15, which is also good, very different. Yeah, I do have the 15. I have not had a chance to open that yet. Cohen got a Port Charlotte 10 today for 55 at Liquor and Wine Depot with the Groundhog Day coupon code GDAY22 for 15% off sale. It's got the Zaya Alta Fuerza. Ooh, that's a good price for a high proof rum. Damn. Well, if folks can get delivery or are in the Los Angeles area, Cohen's got the hookup for you. Thanks for sharing that, buddy. All right, some crosstalk. Cohen says Ben Nevis 10 over Glencadam 10, not even a contest. All right. We will be talking Ben Nevis 10 relatively soon. In fact, I got myself a new Ben Nevis. Talk about that a little bit later in the show. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it, but it is worth an extra mention. All right, folks are doing some crosstalk. Donner Pass says Glencadam is cheap in the UK, but around here it's hard to find. $55.60. It's a good bottle to add in the UK, enough to get those low price shipping costs. Yeah, sounds absolutely right. PC10 is 90 at Total Wine near me. Way too pricey. Admiral Muser, how cold is Chicago? Should have moved to SoCal. Cute girls also here. Yummy, yummy. Hey, Chicago's a slouch. You'd be surprised. But it is cold. No doubt. No doubt. Are we going to do a rum alternate spirits night one of these weeks? We could do that. Just kicking it around a little bit. Would folks be interested in something like that? Do let me know in the chat if you'd be interested in kind of like looking at some other spirits. The stuff that I feel like I can talk about with some understanding and authority, I guess, would be, mezcal or tequila and rum. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Maybe I could set something up. That would be a lot of fun. I do have a nice rum collection. I know our friend Cohen would probably be interested in something like that. Okay, here we go. So first of all, here's the bottle. It's the classic Glencadam label. Nice, natural color. It doesn't have that orange glow to it, as Ralphie would say. No orange glow. It just looks nice. In the glass, this is what the Glencadam 10 be looking like. Very light, very nice. Okay, let's check this out. I'll mention, relatively available here in the States. You can find it for around that $45, $50. So decent price. Sometimes a little cheaper even. So it's not going to break the bank. It's only a 10-year-old. But as you often find, sometimes these whiskeys can really surprise you. So really nice, slow-moving, oily legs on this so far. Well, not too slow-moving. They're thick, though, which is cool. Again, 46% non-chill filtered natural color. I'm assuming this is all ex-bourbon cask. It does not say, but I'm going to assume that's the case. Glencadam 10. Here we go on the nose. Ooh. It's like Glenmorangie 10 without the morangie. And what I mean by that is it's like without the thick kind of honey note. This is a very clean, fresh whiskey. Not sharp at all. Wow, a ton of orchard apple. Like green apple, yellow apple. Definitely the sweet fruit. It's not a very sweet whiskey, but the apple notes are the strongest on the sweet side. So going in a little deeper, again, we're getting some grassiness, some kind of just fresh cut hay, maybe even just your kind of standard barley. Very nice nose. Light vanillas. Wow, what a fresh whiskey. Maybe some hints of lemon. I don't know. If it's not like a lemon, it's like a lemon. It's that like sugary lemon meringue pie, or whatever the hell that is. Maybe just a little bit of oak. This is so on the spectrum of whiskey, this is more on the delicate, sweet side of things, but it does have some character, and I would say it has some backbone to it. Wow. I quite like the nose on this. It's definitely drawn comparisons to the Aaron 10 for me, but I find the Aaron 10 to be a bit more complex and a bit richer than this, a bit more on the honeyed, lightly caramel side. This, boy, there's even almost like a fresh, it's not soap, but it's kind of like that lavender, just kind of fresh, clean note. I don't know how else to describe it right now. I'm impressed by the nose. Maybe even some flowers in this. Okay. Smells pretty good neat, but we got to taste this bad boy. Glencadam 10. Happy Tasty Tuesday, y'all. Thank you for joining. Here we go. A little hot. Sec. Man. There is a fresh fruit note. So it arrives pretty medium bodied. a touch oilier than you would expect given the kind of light freshness of the nose. I'm going to say fresh 10 more times. That's my promise to you. It's a very fresh on the palate. It's got a but no, the palate's a little bit oilier than I expected. Creme brulee, vanilla, yes. A little bit of that kind of powdered sugar, almost like a confectionery sugar thing going on. The fruit notes now, it's not tart. The apple flavor is there, but it's more pear on the note or on the palate. It kind of moves into more of like a pear melon type thing. Probably pear. It's got a little bit of grit to it. A little bit of citrus. I did get hit initially on the first trip with a pretty astringent spice note, not alcohol, which is nice. It's kind of like a hot oak spice, but the second sip took care of that. Medium finish. I like it. This is good. Very, very nice. I'm surprised. I actually think I'm liking this more than I expected it to. When I bought it, I'm thinking, maybe this is like a 3.25 kind of whiskey. It's better than that already, I can tell you. It does have a little bit of a prick on the nose. But again, this is minor. I mean, I think, we are dealing with a neck pour, whatever you make of that. But wow, the freshness, again, on the spectrum, we're looking at elegant, kind of delicate, light whiskey. That nose, boy, I'm trying to think of a whiskey that I can compare this to in the nose. Maybe Annock 12. Like, it draws a little similarity to Annock 12. A little bit to what am I thinking? Brook Lottie, classic Lottie, where you really get that barley note forward. It's not as characterful of a barley note as Brook Lottie, which in my mind is just an unmistakable note. I feel like you can always tell when you're drinking a Brook Lottie if you've had a couple. But that apple, pear, slight citrus. There's even little hints of chocolate. Wow. All right, we're going to do one more neat sip here, and then we'll try some water. Oh, yeah. White chocolate. There's a little bit of a crispness to it, but not citric, not overly citric. This is really quite good. Boy, I could see sipping this in the summertime for sure. All right, we're doing 3 drops at 46%. That seems about right, give or take, whatever. Wow. I'm almost getting a slight, what is that? Maybe like a nougat. But for the most part, this is a fragrant, light, sweet, and delicate whiskey. But the palate, man, you almost think it's going to be languid, but it's not. It's got a nice oiliness to it. And again, this is what makes the difference between a 10-year-old whiskey bottled at 40% and chill filtered and one that's bottled at 46 and not. This whiskey is probably a quarter to a half point better than it would be if it would be chill filtered. And you can tell by the mouthfeel of this whiskey. You can tell by the oiliness. This is how every 10-year-old whiskey should be presented in terms of viscosity. I like me a little Glenmoe 10 every once in a while, but I'll tell you right now, I mean, this blows the doors off of that in terms of its mouthfeel. Here we go. Oh, okay. You're getting a bit more full fruit notes now. A little bit of melon, a little bit of, again, the pears there, the apples there. Citrus is turned up just a bit, but again, this is not an overly citric whiskey. I noticed that on a lot of bourbon cask whiskeys, you tend to get citrus notes. That is not happening here. I wonder if this is like second or even, I don't know, second fill bourbon cask. I don't know. It's not first fill. I know that. Great balance between the cask and the spirit here. One of the more balanced whiskeys I think I've had recently. You can really tell that they picked the right type of casks for this. High praise, y'all. This is good. Is it better than the Aaron 10? I don't know. That might be worth a comparison. Maybe we'll bust that out. I'm definitely, for reference, going to taste it against the 21 Glencadam in a couple minutes here. But in fact, you know what? Let me pour that Glencadam 21 right now, just to taste. I'd love to just kind of see the difference here. And let me know in the chat if any of y'all have had this, the 10 or the 21 for that matter. Color-wise, the 21 is not that much darker, but I remember really, really liking this. It's been a minute. Just a taste. So again, here in the States, not a pricey one. Glencadam 10, if you can find it, $45, $50. I'm getting a bit of an earthiness now on it, so I didn't get before. I like it. For the quality and the price, this is a 4 out of 5 whiskey. Take the price out of the equation, $3.75, but still well above average. For a 10-year-old, it's up there in the top tier, in my opinion. We'll see where this bottle goes, but this is in the top tier of the 10-year-olds that I've had. It's up there with the Aaron 10. I mean, for sure. We're not going to, include like Freud and Ardbeg just because they're so heavily peated, but this is impressive. Definitely better than the Glenmorangie 10. If you like a lighter whiskey, I mean, this is better than the Enoch 12. And it's within that style, though. You'll add something sweeter, a little bit lighter, a little crisper, more on the refreshing side. Yo, Glencadam 10. This is a good whiskey. Okay, so this is a point of comparison. I mean, craft presentations, man. I can't do this without something. Okay, so here is that's the 10. This is the 21. I mean, not that big of a difference in terms of color. Just for a point of reference. The 21, I think I was a 4.25. I mean, this is an under $200 21-year-old whiskey you can get in the States. I think Telex and I did a show on this. I definitely was saying buy this without hesitation. That freshness is there. How many is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since I said I wouldn't say it again. Much bolder flavor though on the nose. The red fruit, the cinnamon, nutmeg, spicier, just richer, no doubt. Deeper flavor on the nose. Here we go. This is right in my wheelhouse. Oh, that's so good. Juicy, slightly drying, chocolate, cinnamon, spices. Everything's going on in this. And you get a couple waves of in the finish. I mean, yeah, clearly So the 21 is a step above. How much of a step above? At least maybe 1.5 steps. Wow, it's good. It does have there are the similarities, and you can tell the similarities by the balance. First of all, you still get that new make, well, not new make, but you get that distillery quality. You get the distillery notes in the Glencadam 21, but it's just a richer, fuller. They're both very relaxed whiskeys. Oh man, there is a fresh fruit note in here that is just. This is the 21. Just remarkable. Yeah. I'm right there in that 4 out of 5 on this. I think this is a must buy. If you like or need a lighter whiskey, something that's got a good amount of complexity, some good flavor, some oiliness, not going to break your bank, man. Glencadam 10 is in that top tier. Yeah, I'm a 4 out of 5 on this for real. I'm not even joking. 4 out of 5. So, on the 100-point scale, 89. Damn, this is good. If you were picking up what I was throwing down and you liked what I had to say about this is a bottle you should hunt down, y'all. Man, I'm impressed. I was really impressed with the 13. I reviewed the 13, I think it must have been midway through last year. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5, if not 3.75 out of 5. This is right there with the 13. It's right there. And that's also one that you can get at a really good price. Sometimes you can find that upwards of, $55, $60, sometimes a little bit more. I would pay $65 for it. Man. Glencadam don't play. Should we do a little comparison with the Aaron 10 just for shits and giggles? The Aaron 10, I definitely gave a 4 out of 5. I might have even went a tick higher. We'll give it a try. All right. Let me pour a little bit of Aaron 10. Again, both similar, I think, maturations. Both are non-chill filtered. Both are natural color. Both are 46%. How it should be. And you can tell. You can tell, man. I'm increasingly getting annoyed with chill filtered whiskey. I really am, because I'll tell you, you can, when you do comparisons, you can tell the difference. If you've been drinking scotch long enough, and I know many of y'all, I'm speaking to the choir on this, but you can tell the difference. Okay, we got 20 folks in, which is rad. What's up, y'all? Happy Tasty Tuesday. Let me catch up on the chat here. Hey, what up, Alan? Tell me I'm spoiled when I have to go to work later. Hey, fellas, trying to get to bed, not having much choice, so many lives. So says it's really cool and unique. You're talking about the this Glencadam 10, righteous user. This showed up recently at one of my stores, 50. So think it's worth it. Yes. Cohen, Glencadam is too light and spirity compared to some other things at the same price point. I agree with you on light. I'm not sure I agree on spirity. I'm not picking it up, at least here in this tasting. I've definitely had things that I thought had a bit more of a spirity issue than this one does. This is surprisingly not very spirity for me. I think it's quite well balanced. Donner Pest says, yeah, it's light in a good way. Second or third fill. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think Cohen, just to be a little bit clearer. So when I say spirity, I think what I hear you saying, or what I think you're saying, is that it's the spirity nature, the kind of new make youth is maybe taking a bit more of the stage. I'm finding this to be remarkably balanced. Let me come back to things here. Okay, so K&L released a lot of yesterday. Some great stuff. Russell's 13. Get in on it. Tell me you like the Glencadam. Yes, this is good whiskey. I'm into it. Linkwood 11 caster single charred wine candle strippic seems great. Not the huffed out tired cast Linkwood is famous for 89. I would buy that at 89, definitely. I have that 19 Alexander Murray, man. That was really tasty. I'm sure that one's even better with the wine cask finish. All right. Yeah, I agree, Donner Pest. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I did get you a sample. It is a lighter whiskey, but deceptively so. It's lighter in flavor, right? I mean, it's not a bold, assertive whiskey, but I'm telling you, the mouthfeel and the viscosity, it tastes like you're drinking a whiskey of substance. And this, again, I think I can say it a million times. Non-chill filtration. Look, I don't like fake color, just like none of you guys do, but I would rather have fake color in every whiskey if every whiskey could be non-chill filtered. I really think it's a major difference. Did you get the Orchard House? Says Cohen. It has gotten better in a couple months. Still not worth 50, but have gotten decent. The vodka note has gone out. That's good to hear. I did not buy it. I saw it again when I was out hunting the other day, but I did not pick it up. I do kind of want it. I definitely kind of want it. Those are some really white hands. Oh, it's be coming through pretty nice here. Drinking 100% barley. I'm not. I traded a 21 for an Allardyce and an Allardyce for 4 Roses. I never got to try the Glencadam 21. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a style of its own. I would have done the same thing if I were you. That makes sense. Anac 12 suffers from the 43%, 40% in the UK. The new Anac 2029 vintage is a knockout 12-year-old. Oh, good to know. I mean, I liked the Anac 12. I just, it's kind of like on the bottom of the second tier for me in terms of those kind of younger age-stated whiskeys. I love the Anac 18, and the 24, of course, was one of my whiskeys of the year. I think the 24 is, with the price, considered doing the best value buys for a nice 20-some-year-old whiskey you can get, and it's fantastic stuff. Yeah, 40%. Geez, I don't understand why they do that in the UK. I'm betting the Aaron 10 is better. Glencadam is good, but I'm putting my money on Aaron. All right, well, we're gonna do it. Here we go. So first things first. This is the Aaron. This is the Glencadam. Much richer on the Aaron. Let's start with the Aaron. Oh, man. I had to check myself. I bought this, of course, because there were a lot of people hyping it. I was like, I got to see what it's all about. And I really wanted to make sure I tasted it blind before I even did I did the other one blind. This one I was just hesitant to I didn't want to overextend my enthusiasm about it because, sometimes suggestive thinking, right? Motivated reasoning, all that. Okay, so on the nose, man, the Aaron 10, it's richer. It's a bit more filled out. Not as light, not as fresh. It's the Glencadam. Here's the Glencadam. Glencadam, though, the vanilla note is very dominant. Nougat, much more than on the Aaron. The nose has gotten stronger on this. Okay. Down the hatch, Aaron 10. Mm-hmm. That is a good whiskey. God damn. They have similarities. So things that you can take as constant between the two. Slightly floral. Fresh vanilla. Honey. Although the honey's stronger on the Aaron. A little bit of citrus, a little bit of that kind of coconut water kind of thing. The Aaron, boy, that is just, again, the pear, the melon. The Aaron's a little bit more dynamic, is what I'm tasting so far. Let me go back to the Glencadam here. The Aaron, for what it's worth, here in the US at least, I tend to find is about $5-10 more. But we're splitting hairs there. Okay, back to the Glencadam. Boy, that's good. Okay. So, as Cohen predicted, off the top, just down and dirty little review here. Side by side, Aaron 10 is probably the one I would take if I had to choose one. It's a little bit richer, a little bit fuller, a little more well-rounded. But Glencadam's not far behind it. These are both in that tier 1 for me in terms of nice 10-year-old Highland style. I know Aaron's from the islands, but whatever. It's kind of similar in style. Both good whiskeys. These are both 4 out of 5s for me, I'm telling you. If you like a lighter whiskey, a little bit of zest, a little bit of clean flavor, but has nice oily mouthfeel, and I think that's the key. This whiskey would easily be almost an entire point less if it didn't have this viscosity. Otherwise, it would just be a languid, I'm sure we can name some distilleries that, strip their whiskey. I mean, imagine a Dalmore. Like, this would be like a Dalmore, right? The presentation here is a clear-cut example of the importance of non-chill filtration and 46% ABV. Both are really good whiskeys, y'all. Ooh-wee! Well, I'm glad I got a bottle of that. One thing I will mention to you guys, since we have the Aaron 10 out, I have a whiskey that I'm going to be doing a comparison video of it with. You want to see what it is? An old Aaron 10. We're going to do an old versus new Aaron 10 video. I'm going to check out. We're going to see how much this has changed. Same presentation, same everything. But I got my hands on an old bottle, so we'll do a little side-by-side comparison. That should be fun. I'll drop that in a few weeks. But, yeah, these are both good. Really good. I like this style. This is what I wanted out of like an Annock 12. This is what I want out of, I'll leave Craigellachie out of this. Craigellachie is a little bit unique. This has a bit more of a range of flavor and balance that while I love Old Pulteney 12, and I think Old Pulteney 12 is stellar stuff, the Old Pulteney 12 can't measure up to this, but it's right in that same wheelhouse. So that's where I'm at. Man, yeah. Prelim score I'll do a full review of the Glencadam 10, but 4 out of 5 right now. If I saw this on the shelf, I'll buy another bottle without even thinking twice. There you have it. Aaron 10 is better, though. We got 20 folks in the chat. Quick reminder, we've wrapped up the first round of brackets for the One Rye to Rule Them All blind rye, 20 rye tasting. Patreons, check your email inbox after we shut down the live stream tonight. You will be getting a early release of the finals. Keep an eye out, everybody else, that will be dropping this week at some point on the channel. I do also have a review coming up this Friday of a nice sherry bomb, which I'll be curious to hear what people have to say about. Glenn Rothis, the Whiskey Maker's Cut. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the support. Let's keep going here. Let me catch up on the chat. I don't know if it's as much apples and oranges as I don't know, without you saying more. I'm the maturations on this seem similar. I don't recall if there's sherry in the Aaron. If there is, it doesn't seem very strong. They don't tell you. I love how proud both of these distilleries are about their presentation. I really do. This is, look, whether you fall on the, again, these are not, neither of these distilleries are hateable at all. I mean, like, they really are trying to say, like, hey, this is how whiskey should be. They're all about it. Non-chill filtered natural color, prominently on that. Same with the Glencadam, non-chill filtered natural color, 46%, 46%. They take an entire paragraph on the back of the Glencadam and on the Erin talking about how we serve it at 46%, and we don't strip out the flavor, as they say here, with non-chill filtration. We never add caramel. There you go. So, mad respect for both Glencadam and Erin on this. Yeah, I do think the Erin 10 is probably a little superior. This would be fun to do in a blind, but boy, these are both really good whiskeys. I am damn happy that I picked up this Glencadam 10. Oh, yeah. Best of the range. Better than the 18. And the 18's not bad, but it's better than the 18. Definitely, I mean, the black is a totally different animal, but I would drink, well, not than the green. Green over the black, definitely, obviously, over the red, or any of those platinum, whatever the hell, gold reserve, whatever. Did Ralphie give Glencadam 10 or 15 the Whiskey of the Year award? I think it was 15, but I'm not totally sure. Glencadam wins all summer. Erin wins in the colder months. Well said, whiskey friend. Let's see what else is going on here. Some folks talking Kilhoman, talking Daniel saying he enjoyed the Orchard House. Okay. I saw Food Quick just did a review recently. I should check it out. Glencadam seems like weak casks to me and could be better. Yeah, I mean, I wonder, this is like the Glenfarclas question, right? It's like, is Glenfarclas's whiskey kind of subpar because, again, we're talking core range, because of their casks or just because of their distillate? And I would argue it's the cask. In the case of the Glencadam stuff, I'm actually, based on what I've had, I think they're choosing specific casks because they want to showcase some of the spirit, and I think it's actually working in their favor. I mean, these are both really well-balanced whiskeys. Oh, he's got it. Peter White. Man, I really want to try that. That sounds great. Let me write back to dude really quick here. Erin uses lively casks. This is Cohen at IC86. 100% is a little different than those. Less peated and lighter tasting. You're talking about the Kilhoman. Man, have you heard the news? There's like $22 million being invested in Kilhoman. They're supposed to be upping their yearly output now by 40% starting, I think, in 2023. There was a huge investment put in their distillery. So we'll see if that eases up some of the pressure on Kilhoman whiskeys. But yeah, they're supposed to, it's literally going to, really significantly increase their output, which is cool. For those of y'all who are big Kilhoman fans, I am still, they're not my favorite, but I've had some good one. Erin uses fresh bourbon. Whiskey friend says, down the hatch, this will be close. Oh, I must be really far behind. Glencadam needs to get with a bourbon company and get fresh casks. I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, that might be their style. I see it like, I'd love to try a first fill. That would be interesting. Like a nice first fill bourbon cask, Glencadam. I'm sure it exists somewhere, especially in the UK, because Lord knows that's where they all seem to be, all the good ones. WS. James Chang, what's up, Los Angeles? How are you, sir? How does the K&L work? Cohen is your man. Oh, the K&L lottery, I see. I have the Erin 10. Something about it just doesn't click with me. I prefer Bladnoch 10 and Tobermory 12 when I compared it. Interesting. I have a Tobermory 12. I should, somehow I opened it. I enjoyed some sips of it, and it's kind of just fell by the wayside. I should check it out. I've only had a tasting of the Bladnoch 10 courtesy of somebody who sent me a sample. I believe Donner Pass, perhaps. But every time I try to find a bottle, it's like impossible. I can't find them anywhere. Love the old 10. Just picked up a 2018 Aaron 18. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm going to do a comparison. This is going to be a lot of fun. I have an old Aaron 10. Haven't opened it yet. This is James Chang. Michael Besley's in the house. What up, Mike? How are you, sir? Great to see you. We got 16 folks in still, which is awesome. I find the Glencadam thin. This 14 Olorosa finish is non-chill filtered and still thin. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, clearly. Man. I like this whiskey. This is a pleasant surprise. Speaking of surprises, and before I forget, let me find it. I have been building up a collection of Ben Nevis whiskeys in anticipation of I'm going to do a live stream. I'm not sure when. Probably in the next month, maybe in the next 2 months, where I'm just going to drink a bunch of Ben Nevises. So, like, I have the regular 10. I have an Adelphi 5. I have a Signatory 7. I have a 21-year-old Archives. And I just got this one yesterday. This, which I almost guarantee none of y'all have seen because I didn't even know what the hell it was. House of Glun's Highland Single Malt Scotch Ben Nevis 5-year-old 46% single cask. House of Glun's 1888 is a liquor store and considered potentially the oldest liquor store here in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. They, among this, have their proprietor went over to Scotland last year and tasted a bunch of stuff at varying distilleries, including Ben Nevis, Glencadam. They have a Glencadam 5. They had a what was the other one? Let me look it up. It's this little old dusty shop in the middle of just north of downtown. It was so much fun to go explore. This bottle was $45. I couldn't believe it. It's a family-owned place. Yeah, in 1888. So, yeah, here are their bottlings. These are the bottlings that they have there. And these are all ones that they had. Ben Nevis 5-year-old single cask 5-year-old Glencadam, McDuff 11-year-old for $65, and a Royal Brackla 11-year-old for $65. And then they have their own blend called the Sneaky Pete. Unfortunately, they were sold out of that one. But in it does, let me see if it says what's in it. Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't. But they did it all themselves. So, yeah, they literally just he went over to Scotland and visited a whole bunch of different distilleries and then got, picked some casks and did some bottlings. House of Glun's, Chicago exclusive, one shop and one shop only you can find it in, apparently. So, yeah, this will be part of the tasting. I'm quite excited. Yeah, it's only a 5-year, but, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. All right. To continue on with the show then. Definitely check out the playback. I also have a review of the Glencadam 13 Reawakening somewhere on my channel if you want to go scrolling through and check it out. It's a lighter kind of Highland single malt, but they're bottled with integrity, and it definitely shows. It's got some nice viscosity. Whiskey Nose is in the house. What up, man? Good to see you, sir. Ben Nevis 10 will serve a beatdown. Yeah, we should do a 3-way comparison. That'll be fun. Good stuff. Keen Dreams says, sounds good. I should get this. Yes, definitely. Springbank 10 is great, but it's also peated. Yeah, Hazelburn 10. I love Hazelburn 10. Great stuff. But, man, both of those have just gotten too pricey. That freaking Hazelburn 10 is like $80 here. crate. Probably cheaper by you. All right. You know my address. By the way, Daniel and I are going to be doing a live stream together relatively soon on an SMWS sample tasting. So keep an eye out for that. I'll keep folks posted when we schedule that. Got the Canna lottery invite today. Nice. Michael Bessie, you out in SoCal too? We got a SoCal crew in here. James Chang, Cohen, Michael Besley. At Keen Dreams, you know, indie bottlers do it better at higher proof. It might be worth a look. I've not had a Glencadam indie, but yeah, man, I finally made my way down there. I'm looking forward to trying it. Hey, you know, if they have more bottles of this, I'll definitely keep folks in the know. They don't ship for nothing. I'm telling you, this place looked like you were walking into somebody's like study in the 1800s. This is an old dusty place. All the tags were handwritten, old wood shelves around and stuff. Like this was it looked like the kind of place you'd love to just sit and smoke a cigar in, like an old dusty parlor somewhere. Really cool experience. Nice guy working there. I mean, some of their other whiskey prices were kind of outrageous, but House of Glens. House of Glens is great. I got a couple Lost Distillery Vintage blended malts from them last year. Was tempted to buy the Ben Nevis 5. Oh, okay. So I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm like, people know about this. Glens, baby, bus loves. Yeah, I have a 21, which was quite good. I think I did them on a live stream not too far back. But yeah, I'm going to do a Ben Nevis show that's going to literally just be, like I said, I've been kind of compiling these so I think I have 5. Yeah, here's another one. Here's a signatory. This is a 2013, 7 years, 8 years. And then there's that 21-year-old Ben Nevis, which is like cask. 48.2 single cask. Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get down with some Ben Nevis. That'll be a fun show. For folks just joining, if you are on Patreon, it is keep an eye on your inbox after the show ends. I'm going to be dropping the finals from the One Ride to Rule Them All blind tasting challenge. That video will be coming your way. I'm excited to share that. It's been a lot of fun. And again, I want to thank everybody, whether you liked it, whether you watched it, you left a comment, you chipped in on Patreon, or you became a Patreon supporter, or you sent a super chat. You guys made it happen. It was a lot of fun. At Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews, I'll open my 6-year-old Carnmore Blend Nevis, which is a 2015 distillate when you do the flight. Fuck yeah. So I'm talking about, Peter. I'm into it. Yeah, seriously, man. The prices of those got crazy somehow. Michael Besley's an MD. Moved recently from NoCal. Right on. Were you an MD? If you go back to my old videos, I was out in DC when I started this channel, and you know who is in MD is just outside Baltimore is our friend Telex. Hey, look who it is. What's up, man? Come here. You want up? You got to come up. Winston the Whiskey Cats coming to say hello. What do you think about Glencadam 10, huh? Nope. Still haven't found a malt this cat has any interest in. Say hi. He's just not into the malts despite being the whiskey cat. Beaming the signal from Delhi, India. Delhi? Are you still in Delhi or did you move to Mumbai? No, you're in Delhi. It's Kapil. What's up, man? Boy, do I got something to show you, buddy. Oh, what I got my hands on. I got 2 of these. Frickin' Amroot Spectrum. We'll talk about the Amroot Spectrum on a show coming up, but this is they basically go crazy with staves and stuff. This is supposed to be quite a whiskey. Have you had this one before, Capel? Do you see this one in India ever? Gerbic says, nice. Yeah, definitely. Folks talking Canel Lottery. Love Big Nevis. I have a few, says him. All right. Total Swine has a lot of lost story stuff on closeout. What do you need, buddy? If you want to come up, you got to come up. You can't keep pawing at me and then not tell me what you need. Come here. All right. I won't shove your nose in whiskey this time. Oh, fat bastard. Total Swine. Winston, yes. IC86. You got fans, buddy. Look at this floof. Jesus. Big ass Russian blue floof. He's in Rockville. Oh, okay, cool. Lost distillery stuff. Folks are chatting about it. Start him on the Baileys. There we go. You want some Baileys, buddy? Some Irish creme? I mean, he's a Russian blue, so maybe we need to start him on vodka, right? We'll get him some Stolichnia or something like that. Have a signature Ben Nevis 10. Refill, sherry bot, super pale, but interesting flavors. Excellent. Yeah, we're going to do some Ben Nevis for sure. Yeah, so the Amroot Spectrum, basically they age it in a cask, like a bourbon cask, and then they put it into a cask where they've added a bunch of staves. If you remember the controversy about Spice Tree, when Spice Tree was adding all those staves and the Scotch Whisky Society cracked down on them, well, Amroot Spectrum, they're in India, so they can do what they want. And they added like PX Oloroso French oak staves. It's supposed to be just an incredible whiskey. And they can get away with it because, they don't have to deal with the same regulations, allegedly. So that's what you get. How you doing, pal? Give me just a second, Joe. He's needy. You okay? You just need to chill? All right. Get comfy. I won't move so much. Yeah, oh yeah. That's what I thought he was doing, but that's right. I always feed him before the show because otherwise he'll be in here causing a ruckus. You know how it goes. Pacific Edge Imports. Yeah, sometimes when he's on manner mode, but he's not always on manner mode. He seems to be right now. I don't know what his deal is, but all right, we are an hour in. We got 16 folks in. Rad. Let's keep going. I'm feeling it tonight. I'm gonna put my delicious Glencadam 10 again. By the way, prelim score, I'm telling you all 4 out of 5 on this bad boy. This is good stuff. Punching above its weight. It's showing up. It's damn good whiskey. I would recommend you look for it. Okay. So let's move on to something else. What that is going to be, I am not yet quite sure. I'm not sure which direction to take things in, but in the meantime, I'm going to revisit something we had a couple weeks ago because I have not had a sip of it since then. Boona 12 cast strength. Get at me. Let's see what's happened with this. All right. This is a good question for the chat because I just picked it up here on this nose. What distilleries do you feel for you have just an unmistakable characteristic note of their nose? Like when you smell it, you know it's from that distillery. I've mentioned one earlier tonight, Bruichladdich, which I feel like, again, we're, Pete, outside of Pete, I feel like you can just, there's an unmistakable Bruichladdich note. Highland Park is another one. Bunnahabhain, definitely. I understand every whiskey has its own character, but there are some that I feel like, can kind of get muddled and masked. Like, do you always know a Glenfiddich? Do you always know an Oban? Probably not. Do you always know a Glenallachie? Probably not. Do you always know a Glendronach? Maybe not. But there are some that are just unmistakable. Even a Kilkerran. Do you always think you would know what a Kilkerran was when you smelled it? I don't think I would. But the short list for me, again, Bunnahabhain is on it. And it's immediately when I poured this, I was like, oh yeah, this is a nice Bunna. Undoubtedly. My note on this, which I don't think anybody has ever agreed with me on, but this is what it reminds me of, is like when you walk into you're in a big city, you're in Chicago, New York, LA, whatever, and you go to one of those old downtown bookstores, and they're like 3 floors, and it's clearly an old dusty place. The place has been around forever, and it just has this musty kind of basement note. It's not overpowering, but just this kind of musty old book note. That's what I get on Bunnas. It's behind it, but it's there. It's like you opened an old book. And this Bunna 12 definitely has it. I love that note. I freaking love it. All right, here comes some folks. Cohen, Springbank. Yeah, definitely. Unmistakable, when you have a Springbank in hand. Donner Pass got that Hakushu Distillers Reserve. Man, yeah. What is that worth a flyer? Is that worth it? I have a Hakushu 12, and I haven't tried it yet. But I keep seeing this Distillers Reserve or edition or whatever they call it, and it's obviously an NAS. But I mean, come on, what Japanese whiskey is an NAS these days? Good. Freud, yeah. When you're drinking a Freud, you could have an Ardbeg, a Port Charlotte, fucking Octomore, Kalila all lined up with a Freud, and right away which one is the Lefroy. It smells like a damn hospital that's on fire. At Mount Muser, Altmore is like a forest fairyland. Altmore, interesting. That's a good one. Rosebank, he says, I wish I knew. I've only had one Rosebank courtesy of when I was over in Paris. I went over to Greg's Whiskey Guide's house, and he poured me a little bit, but I've never, I can't speak to it, but I believe you. He says Glengoyne. Okay. 4 and 5 in Glenallachie, cast strength. Yeah. Do not buy Hakushu in the U.S., says Cohen. Interesting. Springbank and Balvenie honey. Balvenie. No. And like Balvenie is an interesting one, even with all the finishes. I mean, you have the single cast sherry, you have the, they do a variety of things. You can always kind of still pick out a Balvenie. Yeah. Totally true. What's up? You grumpy? What do you need, man? Sorry, I'm dealing with a needy Winston here. I'm not quite sure I know what he wants. Why don't you just sit down, brother? Picked up a small sample to drink blind tonight and immediately could tell it was Ardbeg Wee Beastie. Out of 80 possible. Wow, man, nice. There's no way I would have been able to do that. Impressive. Ardbeg. I don't know if I would notice Ardbeg. Maybe. Ardbeg and Lagavulin, I feel like might confuse me a little bit. Lefroy, I would definitely pick up. But Bunnahabhain for sure, man. For me, again, Brooklady, Bunnahabhain, Highland Park. I have never had a Highland Park that I took a nosing of and was like, what is this? Just know it's Highland Park. Same with Bunna. Anyways, if you already have the 12, the Distillers Reserve is a no-go. Got it. Yeah. Now the 12 is coming back on the market, from what I understand. But I could be wrong about that. Yeah, for real, man. It's just being weird. Yeah. Definitely. Probably not. But yeah, back to that Hakushu. What, man? Fucking hey, dude. What do you need? I'm trying to do a show with your brother. Just come on over here and chill. Just chill. Oh, now he's biting me because he's pissed. All right, whatever. See, this show's not about you. We're trying to talk whiskey, man. Good. Go. Speaking of the Hakushu, there are, so as I was kind of mentioning last week, I've been increasingly like buying more and more world whiskeys, Japanese whiskeys, Indian whiskeys. I got this Amrut Spectrum. Let me show you guys something else that I just got, which I think is going to be really interesting. So I got the Kayo Mizunara Oak Cask Strength, the Oishi Isla Cask. This should be really, really fun. So we'll do these relatively soon. There was one other one. Oh, this wasn't an Isla, but this is from a distillery I've never had. This is from Ardnamurken. This is one of those releases from them. I don't know if anybody's had that. So a couple interesting things will be coming up on the show. I'm planning on doing all of those as like kind of uncorking tastings that we can all chat about. Dude, I know, man. They asked. So for folks who don't know about this, on Instagram, I had a picture of him, sitting up there with the cartridges, and Lefroy messaged us like, "Hey, can we use this image?" And I was like, "Sure." And then they're like, "Just respond this, and then we'll reach out." And then they never reached out. So I don't know if they just did it or what. IC86 says Highland Park 12 equals darn good stuff. Absolutely. One of my go back to whiskeys of all time. Probably the top. Can't go wrong ever. Ardbeg as a whole night might be tough to pick out, but the Wee Beastie was a very particular smell. I have not had the Wee Beastie since it came out. I had that one night, so I'm not sure. But I could pick out Kalila based on how many IBs I've had. Luis is in the house. What up, buddy? Hakushu 12 over the Yama 12. Good to know. Whiskey Winston, indeed. Except he seems to be not interested in the freaking whiskey. Yeah, man, that's probably what it is. Every time he hears me talking about whiskey, he's getting salty. He's like, "Where's my money?" Now he's over here pawing at some plastics. Man. No manners. No, I'm gonna do a video of it. I'm gonna do like a review video of it. So I'm not gonna do the Aaron 10 face off tonight, but I would. But now that I'm on this, Buna 12, I'm like cast strength. I'm like, I don't know. Excellent. I'm gonna compare it to the regular Mizunara non-cast strength. In fact, oh shit, I just realized I was supposed to have an old friend of mine. We had discussed him coming on the show tonight to do that Kayo tasting. I totally spaced on that. Maybe we'll do it next week. I'll have to reach out to him. I mean, he's the reason. I mean, I'm just a he's the Antonio Brown. Yeah, dude, he's just, this is all about him, always. At least that's what he thinks. Anyways, anybody had this Buna 12 cast strength? I like it. I don't know if it's $100. I mean, here's the thing. For another $30, I could get the Buna 18, which I think is a better whiskey. It's good. It's like that Kilkerran 16 one that came out. It was like a half step above the 12, but not completely. You don't hear many people talking the praises of the Kilkerran 18 or 16. I did a comparison video of the two, and I didn't think it was all that much better, but this one, I don't know. It's good. It's just not, I mean, the regular Buna 12 you can get for like $50. it's over 46%. It was like 46.3%. It's like, yeah, this one is 55.1. I don't know. I don't know if it's that amazing. I don't think this is a Hey, don't pile the frogs. He's about to get the pow pow. Get down. Prick. No better. I don't think this is necessarily worth the extra $50. I just don't. I think if I'm going to do a review of it, but I think this is going to fall in that 3.5 range, 3.75 range. I mean, it's good, but man, for $100, I don't know what I expected. I just don't think it's quite worth it. That's just me. Yeah, dude, seriously. I also didn't find that it was that much more interesting. I think the Kilkenner 12 is just fantastic. The 16 was good, but it was like, they had that like couple drops. Was it Madeira or Marsala in it? Like 3% or 4% aged in Marsala. I don't know. I didn't find it all that interesting. Don't call PETA. You get the same cast at Ardmerchan to some of the Adelphi releases. From the Breath of the Isles range, so similar. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so Ardmerchan is that what's Ardmerchan? I don't know what it is. It tells you how to pronounce it on there, but I've forgotten, so bear with me. They're owned by Adelphi, right? So they're, this is another one of these independent bottlers that owns a distillery, like Gordon MacPhail. Don't even think about jumping up there, dude. Like Gordon MacPhail owns, oh God, don't mess this up, Erik. Ben Romick. Cadenheads is owned by Springbank. Signatory owns Edgedour. So it's not without precedent. This is just another one. I have never had one of the Ardmerchan releases, so I'm excited to try it. We'll do that on a live stream relatively soon. Hey, Sylvan Sosi's here. What's up? Higher ABV works well for me. Yeah, I feel you. He's just going to get canceled by the animal rights groups, and Winston's star will rise even higher. Yeah, he's going to be... Fuck Lefroy. He's going to be the star of Greenpeace. Aren't you? You're going to be Greenpeace's, freaking logo cat, man. They're going to be plastered all over the interwebs. Glad I got the Bunatol CS, but would not buy another for the price they want. Impulse buy for sure. Centrifugal goes out. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I wonder if you're thinking the same thing I am. Like, yeah, this is really good. But $100? Luis has picked up an old label Bunatol the other day. Nice. Always good stuff. Can I lobby that we pour some Lefroy Batch 13? Yeah, you definitely can. Hey! Hold on just 1 second. I want to talk to you all about this cast strength Lefroy business. Dudes, so my understanding, and ladies, I'm sorry, and however you gender identify, my apologies for assuming you're all dudes. Am I the only one who is seeing that there is also a Lefroy cast strength batch 14 out? Now, historically, they have released one cast strength batch per year. But I swear to God, and I don't know if this was a typo on the internet. Somebody can validate this for me. I saw, and it was also a 2021 release, Lefroy 10 cast strength batch 14. Same ABV as this 13, which is 57.9. Am I crazy? Has anybody else seen this? Because, why would, they've never released two of these in 1 year. And why at the same ABV? I swear it had to have been a misprint. Why would there be a batch 14 out within 2 months of this thing coming out? Maybe y'all know. Peter White says he's not going to bother with the Boona 12 cast strength. Rather buy Glencadam. Yes, I agree. Glenalky 10 cast strength at any badge. 100% agree. Whisky Exchange owns Elixir, who is now Pernod Ricard. Good. No, I did not know that. Winston is, yeah. He just despises whiskey, which is hilarious. He's got a discerning palate. Arthur, what's up, buddy? How are you? Picked up the Lockgorm 2021 today in NYC. These are getting hard to find. I love Lockgorm. That's my favorite Kilchoman. And now that they're getting all this money infused into them and they're supposed to up production by like 40%, it should be interesting if these become a little bit more inexpensive and a little more widely available. So in case you missed that news, there was our good friends Horst Lunig and his son Ben over at whisky.com said, according to them, Kilchoman just received like some $22 million investment that's supposed to up their output each year by like 40%. So we may be seeing some more inexpensive Kilchomans, which would be nice. IC86 is I like Boona 12, but I like other things better. So I'm not going to overpay for Boona 12 cast strength. I feel you. It's true. The 14 is up. Are you serious? What is the deal with that? Why are they sneaking out a 14-year-old cast strength? This 13 didn't show up in the States until like, what was it, November? And then they put out a 14 like right away? I don't understand. I got this relatively soon after it came out. I'd have to look back because I know I uncorked it on a live stream. That must have been, hang on. I'm going to annoy everybody for a second by going back into this thing. I swear I did a video on this. I'm so confused about this, man. This doesn't make any damn sense. Okay, here we go. So I did a review of the Lefroy 10 Cask Batch 13 on... Okay, maybe it was a little further back than I thought. Here it is. The Freuchten Cask Batch 13 with Telex, October 26th of last year. That was 4 months ago. And you're telling me that they put out a batch 14 since then? I don't get it. What is the deal with this? Sylvan says he's heard about it. What? Why would they do this? Why would Lefroy release 2 10-year-old cask strengths in that quick of succession with what I think was the same ABV, unless it was a misprint? Anyways, I have batch 13, and you guys know I'm a homer for these, so I always go out and get them, which means I got to go buy 2 bottles of the 14 now. Look for a live uncorking of that relatively soon. It's going to be coming because now I got to try that because what the hell? Why would they do that? I don't understand. Was it like a mistake? How is there a batch? Whatever. It exists. We can move on. No doubt. Check out my top 5 Lefroy video. You might find my opinion on that is similar to yours. Maybe Winston should try different Centauri products like bourbon or Japanese. Yeah, we need a catnip infused barley whiskey or rice malt. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, but I mean, doesn't like I agree, but it also seems like a weird play, right? maybe they just didn't have a lot of the 13, or they lost it, or there was some type of issue that they would put out a 14 in such quick succession. Good Donner Pass coming in here with the logic and thought. All right, I feel you. You're right. Well, shit. Yeah, I got some batch 12 stash too. The batch 12 was really good. The 11 I thought was, so there's usually okay. Here's my thing on Lefroy 10 cask strength. First of all, the best value Islay peated whiskey you can get, absolutely, without question, in my opinion. Secondly, there tends to be, while each batch is very different and unique and complex, there tends to be two styles or two kind of notes that dominate each batches. Sometimes the peat smoke is a little bit subdued in favor of a more kind of savory, meaty quality. For example, batch 11, batch 7. And then others, it's a more intense, smoky, medicinal peat forward, batch 10, batch 12. This one falls, I think, in that latter category. So let's try it out. It's been a minute since I've had this. It's just great. I wish Lefroy did a lot of things differently. I really do. I wish they wouldn't chill filter their whiskey. I wish they wouldn't put fake colorant in their whiskey. I wish they did. I wish their 10-year-old wouldn't have turned into the kind of pedestrian, watered down, crappy cask, 43% stripped of all of its nature whiskey that it is right now. That all said, their 10 cask strength can go to war with any, and I mean any, heavily peated Islay whiskey. I think this is just as intense as any Octomore. Again, because that whole PPM thing, like, you really can't tell. These are probably 45, 50 PPM. I don't know. Hi, Winston. Dude, y'all, what did I do tonight? This one, though. Okay, so immediately, yeah, come on up. Come on. He's back. Of his own volition this time. You gonna get comfortable? Let's chill. Let's have some whiskey. You know what we need to do, right? Winston the Whiskey Cat, what is your opinion on Lefroy cask strength? Yet. So here's the deal with this. Lot of vanilla, a ton of peat, like that iodine, dentist's office, septic, medicinal, Band-Aids, whatever you want to call it. It's all happening here. It's so lively. It's so coastal. This is the kind of whiskey. Let me muse on this for a second. I mean, it's like, this is the kind of whiskey you're sitting out by a lake in the cold weather in the woods, north woods, pines around you. You pour a bit of this by a fire to keep you warm, and it hits on every note. It's meaty. It's got a ton of body, a ton of character. Absolutely killer. God. Barbecue. Herbal. It's just fantastic. When you absolutely positively need to kick your palate in the ass with a heavily peated scotch, except no substitute. Lefroy 10 cask strength. Batch 13 slanch, y'all. Wow. That is so good. It's so rich. It coats your entire mouth. The peat intensity is huge, but it's not overly like tannic or drying. There's fruit notes popping here and there. It's sweet. It's earthy. It's herbal. It's just intense. This is how Islay Scotch whiskey should be drank. I did a video a few years, I think it was almost a year ago now, comparing the, what I think are the top 3 10-year-olds off Islay. Port Charlotte Laphroaig Ardbeg. The regular release is not cast strength. The Ardbeg 10 I still think is the go-to. But this, when you get into cast strength and you're talking about value outside of your $45, $50 whiskeys, you got $75 and you want to really experience like the absolute essence of what Islay single malt scotch is, this is the way to go. It's huge. It's just huge. Yeah, man. What's up? Get comfortable. This one I like. This one I like a lot. My favorite of the last couple of years has been batch 10, but this one is still really, really damn good. A lot of vanilla on the nose. A lot of it. But man, the intensity, the peat smoke, so I should make this more clear. Peat and smoke are 2 separate things. You can have a very peaty whiskey that's not very smoky. You usually don't have a lot of smoky whiskeys that aren't peated, but it can go the other way. Aaron Moore, for example. But this is just billowing campfire peat smoke. It smells like you're in nature, man. So oily, sweet. There's one whiskey that I would say within the price range that's a bit more intense on the palate, but I think it doesn't match up to this because it's not quite as sweet. It doesn't have the sweetness and it doesn't have the roundedness. And that is the very delicious Ardbeg Corryvreckan. It's a much more spicy, even more spicy than this. Love Corryvreckan. I think the first time I had it, I described it as a swarm of hornets attacking my tongue because that's what it felt like. So intense. I personally wouldn't drink it over the Laphroaig 10 cast strength, but it is really, really good. But this is just primo. And as long as they keep releasing this, no matter what Laphroaig continues to do with anything gimmicky, any chill filtration, any fake coloring, any of that, you'll always have, at least you'll have this. At least you'll have this pure, unadulterated Laphroaig that really kind of goes to the core of what they're about. Now, they have changed over the years. I do have some old batches of the Laphroaig 10 cast strength. I have a batch 3 and a batch 4, which are even more oily, more rounded, better, in my opinion. But these are no slouch. And when these go up to $100, I'll probably still pay for it. I hope Laphroaig didn't hear that, but it's true. Because it's really the bottle you need. If you've been into peated single malt scotch for a while, there's really only one bottle of Laphroaig you totally need, and that's the 10 cast strength. If you want to go for the higher end, spend a couple $100s on 25s and stuff like that, go for it. The lore, very good stuff. It's interesting, but 10 cast strength. Okay, I'm ranting. So let me check on the chat. We still got 16 folks in, which is rad. I think we're gonna go for 2 hours tonight for sure. Let's do it. Michael Besley says, batch 12 my favorite in the last years. Yeah, good stuff. I paid anywhere from 65 to 90. All been worth it. You're totally right. And it's weird how the prices go on that. I've seen it for so I was just at Binny's when I was out hunting the other day. I ended up at House of Glens, but I was driving around Chicagoland, popping into a few Binny's that I haven't been to just to check up on what they got. And yeah, they had this. It was like 80. But then sometimes you see it's like 70 or 65. And you're like, I got to grab that. Thunder passes. He's thinking about opening the Laphroaig 16 for summer. Yes. Yeah, that's the one that's first fill bourbon. Yeah, I think that's probably right. The ideal one, if you have it, the one that when I think about summer in a Lafroig would be the Lafroig 15 now, but they're 43%, but those are also like harder to get because they were special releases. I think that you're right. You're right on with the 16. Batch 4 released in Alberta today, said Peter White. Man. And it still says 2021 on it, which makes me think there's going to be a batch 15 in 2022, or maybe two of them. It's so weird. No, I'm telling you, man, it says 2021 on it, which is like the weirdest thing. Again, I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can correct me on everything I'm saying, but I'm just going off of like I looked at two websites when I was strolling through, mindlessly looking at whiskey bottles, and I saw this like 14. I thought it was a typo. CB3 has 3 batches and no one wins. No, you're right. You're totally right. But like, what I'm saying is I'm surprised, that they came out in such quick succession. Like I'm telling you, I did a review of this in late October, and I'm telling you, I started seeing this 14 on the market in like December. So that's weird. But I agree. If they're going to start doing multi-releases a year, like a little heads up. Had some Lafroig PX 2021. Oh yeah, the Carchus. That one just narrowly missed my runners-up for Scotch of the Year. That was good. That was one of my favorite Carchus releases, probably since 18, the Fino. Excellent. It's my second favorite of the ones last year. The Beeb release last year was the only one that I think I ever gave below a 4 to. Since I've been doing them. Michael Besley says, great bang for the buck. Yep, totally. It is so good. I completely agree. Octomore numbnuts pricing. Yeah, I agree. Octomore is a testament to the importance of quality casks, but I tend to agree that paying $250 for those is absolutely insane. Yes. Yes, I agree. Oh, yeah, there's the video. Yeah, check it out. You guys might like it. That's a good one. I don't think it beats the Dark Cove, and I'm borderline on the Grooves, but generally I agree with you. Yeah, I think the 10 and the Ugadal, in my opinion, are really the only Ardbegs anybody ever needs. They're the most consistent, and they're the most good. Corey Frecken is right there. I know some people would rather drink Corey than Ugadal. That's fine. But I agree with you. The Drum was a total disappointment. I think that was 2019. The Black was good, but if you didn't get the committee release, you were really disappointed, I think. The one last year was the Scorch. Committee release was solid. It was better than the Drum, but the Grooves committee release I thought was quite good with the red wine. The Kelpie. Yeah, I think you're right. Has anybody seen the one that's coming out, the Fur Mutation one this year? That's some folks already have their hands on over in the UK. Fur Mutation, kind of a cool. It was like some mistake that they made at Ardbeg. And like a bunch of, I don't know what it was, over fermented. Oh God, here we go. Don't start, man. A bunch of over fermented distillate from like some of the tons got, they decided to just make whiskey out of it, and that's their committee release this year. The Ardbeg was really good. That was that special release, committee release, but they didn't do a regular version of it. Oh, man. Yo. Get down. Not a huge fan of the excess of iodine in most Lafroig. I'm a Brook-Laudy guy over all the other stuff. Right on. Love the Corey, but 150. Damn. Where are you, Sylvan? Are you at Nova Scotia? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I remember Nova Scotia. I do my best to remember where folks are. So That's an absurd price. Yeah, you can't pay that. Yeah, I loved batch 10. Ardmore 10 cast strength. Ooh, sounds rough. Yeah. Ardbeg is like Ardbeg and Macallan are like the Blanchins and Weller of bourbon or of Scotch. It's gotten a little crazy. But yeah, the fur mutation. Keep an eye out for that one for $405,000, whatever. I'm looking forward to that. That's the one I heard is going to be. It's going to be some warehouse one, which is the one closest to the sea at Lefroy. That's going to be their committee releases or their Carchis release this year. I mean, of course, I'm going to buy it. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, they're better off releasing that. They should release more of the cast strength and less of the regular 10 these days, considering how much they've stripped it of its essence. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Yeah, well, that's their whole thing. Look, okay, so the guy who does these Ardbeg, who designs all the Ardbeg gimmicky bottles is Gordon Motion, who is also the lead whiskey maker up at Glenmorangie, which y'all know is one of my favorite distilleries. So I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie, I sort of like this. Wait till you see the logo of the fur mutation. You should look it up. It's kind of cool. It's kind of got this alien abduction thing, but instead of flying saucers, they're like flying tons, and they're. I'm sorry, I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, of course, I'm gonna buy it if I find it, but I'm not gonna hunt for it. I'm sure it's another NAS, pedestrian whiskey, but sooner or later, I mean, that's the thing is the Scorch. I got the committee release Scorch for $130. And I remember I had the black for $120. I mean, it keeps going up. Lord knows what it's going to be cost for this. And sooner or later, it's got to burst, New Brunswick. Yes. Okay, gotcha. Cool. But yeah, I mean, look, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a freaking Lefroy there's not a Lefroy, Carchis, or an Ardbeg committee release that's ever going to be able to stand up to the only Lefroy that matters, in my opinion. I'll stand by it. I mean, Lefroy just put out a 33-year-old, which is going for $1,300 or something. Please. There's absolutely no way on earth I would pay that much for a whiskey, let alone a Lefroy, let alone. Come on, I mean, the 10 cast strength is just perfect. Why? You get something different every year, but it's still in the same. It's playing this on the same field. And this 13 is great. 4.25 out of 5 easily, maybe even more. It gets better as I sip it. It's fantastic because they can't fuck it up, right? All they can do is put it in a crappy cast. They can't water it down. They can't, do all the horrible stuff that they usually do. I know it doesn't say. So here it says it's barrier filtered only. So it's not chill filtered. It doesn't say anything about the color. Again, as long as it's unchill filtered, I can stomach the fake color. Stephen Connor's in the house. What's up? Nashville. The fur mutation doesn't sound too appetizing. The Ardcore is the normal CR that they're going to be doing this year. Oh, okay. So they are going to do the Ardcore. I saw that last year. That was going to be the thing that leaked out. That was going to be the one that they did. I thought the fur mutation ended up being the one. So usually that was the weird thing too, was why are they releasing their committee release in January? The committee releases usually come out in late March. He says he's so tired of them. The black was good. You didn't think the black was good? I thought the black CR was quite good. The drum sucked. Grooves was okay. Scorch was okay-ish. Dark Cove was great. Kelpie was okay. So yeah, they're not batting 1,000, that's for sure. Whiskey Nose claimed it was a contradiction flavor. Good to know. Ardbeg is now becoming a Diageo with the marketing. Yeah. I mean, clearly, like, Gordon Motion is letting his freak flag fly when it comes to the Ardbegs. Hey, beaming the signal from Oahu out in the Pacific Ocean. It is our good friend Juan. Great to see you, sir. Cheers, man. I should mention, since you are here, for everybody, just so you know, the one rye to rule them all 20 blind rye whiskey brackets are all live on the channel right now. If you are a Patreon supporter, after this video ends, this live stream, you will be getting the early release of the finals. So you will know which is the rye to rule them all out of the 20 ryes. So keep an eye on your email inbox. We got 21 folks in, which means I got to keep going. I'm not shutting this thing down now. Y'all are going to have to wait a little longer before I release the finals on that. Sorry, not sorry. I would like to get the new distillery only Octomore 10. God damn, that's a lot. Donner Pass. Ardbeg has committed such a cult fans. It seems they just keep going with what they are doing. I stick to the core range. Yeah, here's my problem. You know what? We're going to take a quick pause because I got to go take a quig, and then I'll tell you what my problem is. Be right back. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Where were we? Oh, I should let you know, next week on the Happy Hour live stream, I'm going to be uncorking. Where is it? There it is. Emerald Spectrum. So I'm very eager to do that. I almost wanted to do it tonight, but, we had to check out the excellent Glencadam 10. Anyways, okay, so Donner Pass is saying everybody was committed cult fans. I stick to the core. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I just, here's my problem. If I walk into a store and they have the goddamn committee release of an Ardbeg, I told myself with the Scorch I wouldn't buy it. And then I walked into the shop and they freaking had it. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. So, like, my will is weak. And it's not because I think I'm necessarily an Ardbeg homer. I just, you get that momentary exhilaration. And I did it. So my will is weak. I mean, I have a nice amount of Ardbegs that I think, will be probably better. Let me see what I have. So I have some Dark Coves. I have a distillery release Perpetuum, Supernova. I have a single cask 10-year-old from the 90s back there. Ardbeg Day. And then I have this Renaissance from like 2010 or 2005 or whatever. There's some old Ardbegs, but yeah, like I bought the Ardbeg, which I actually kind of liked. The Scorch I thought wasn't all that great. So if I walk into a store and I see the Fermutation or the Ardcore, I'm gonna have to be like really stop myself. So hopefully I'll get better at it. Interesting Final Four in the one rye tasting. Yes, yeah, I thought so too. Man, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, before we continue, I just shout outs again, folks who sent super chats that helped me expand that to 20 ryes. Everybody that's liked, viewed, commented, appreciate it so much. Had a lot of fun. And if you guys enjoyed those, do let me know. I mean, I'd love to hear, from y'all. As was said on a live stream recently, this is the This is the people's stream. Is that what it was, Daniel H? The people's stream. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the blind tasting, or you have some recommendations on how I should change it next time, I'm probably going to do it again if folks enjoyed it. So I'm very excited to share the finals with folks, and you're going to be surprised. It was quite an interesting one. There's no problem with Ardbeg Rare and similar committee releases, says Jack the Pickled Hound. Ardbeg passed me by a couple of years ago, not my jam. At Malbuser. I love Ardbeg. Had a sample in 1972 a few nights ago. Of course you did, bro. And that's the stuff that made Ardbeg legendary. You need my address, dude? I don't know. But the pricing on the young stuff is outrageous. I agree. I totally agree with you. Man, I can't even imagine what a 72-year-old 1972 Ardbeg tastes like. Stephen Connor, man, you don't play. I have 60 different ryes. Other than Rice Killer Rye Hook, and Red Walk, there is not one rye to rule them all. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Ardbeg is corny and cheesy, like Highland Park is cartoonish for younger fanboys that will buy it. New Highland Park 50 is $30K and $200 to get it. Non-refundable list to get it. What a joke. Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. Well, I can tell you right now, Laphroaig had a good year last year. 2021, I feel like, was a really strong year for Laphroaig releases. This batch 13 cast strength is probably the best one I've had since batch 10. Their 10 Sherry Oak, pretty solid. Their Carchus PX, the best Carchus I've had since the Fino. All really good whiskeys. I'm glad I bought a backup of that 13. I would definitely recommend folks pick it up if you've yet to. I think I'll do one more dram before we close things up tonight. And since I've just blown my palate out with Pete, I should probably, you know what we'll do? Since we're talking Ardbeg, a little Scorch committee release. So if you guys remember, this was inspired by Dunnage Warehouse 3's Definitely Real and Not Made Up Flavor Breathing Dragon. Hang on, I can't say this without laughing. Flavor Breathing Dragon. This whiskey has been matured in our most heavily charred ex-bourbon cask, intense aromas, blah, blah, blah. 51.7%. It's been a while since I had this. We'll close it with some Scorch. So the thing that I think some people missed on this is the fact that the heavily charred cask it's almost like a double coke or a double cask. So it's like you're getting a much more caramely oaky flavor. I thought this was okay. If I went back to my review, I did a comparison between the committee release and the regular release. I don't think either of them eclipsed a 4.4 out of 5, which again, 4 is like, for me, is like 89 to 91, fluctuating in there. It's not as interesting or as good as the black, which was that Pinot Noir one, which I quite liked. Way better than the Drum, better than the Kelpie, probably maybe a tick below the Grooves. Sweet. Caramely. Smoke is in the background. This one behind it a little bit. Not bad. Tropical fruit. I mean, these committee releases, it's like, you put enough ABV behind anything, you can almost make it taste good, right? All right, let me clean the palate quick, and then we'll do a taste. Gordon Motion, man. I mean, I love so much of what he does with Glenmorangie, and then find a lot of what he does with Ardbeg a little bit cringy. It's like he just does the weirdest stuff with these advertising, but here we go. I mean, it's young. It's sprightly. But that cask, I mean, this is a really creamy, smoky Ardbeg, which is what you'd expect. I mean, it's almost like a double cask. But then here we go. This is where you notice you get a little bit of that alkaline note. The finish is just shorter than it should be, even at the committee release level. It's a little bit shorter. Who knows how old this whiskey is? Yeah, man. God, that finish just leaves you wanting. I mean, why would they change until we stop buying them, right? Or I'm looking at myself when I say that because I clearly have a problem with that. Yeah, I do have a bottle of Oro Verdes. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I think Ardbeg 10 and Ugadal are really the only Ardbegs you need. Corey Vrecken, throw it in there if you want. But I think consistency-wise, Ardbeg 10 has somehow at this distillery remained consistent, and is still, I think, a signature peated dram. 3 Islay whiskeys. If you were going to grab 3 Islay whiskeys to define Islay for somebody, which would they be? Let me know in the chat. I'll tell you my 3 right now. Obviously, Laphroaig 10 cask strength. The second one would be Ardbeg 10. Or maybe Ugadal. No, Ardbeg 10. Let's stick with the classic. And then comes the third. And this is where it gets a little bit messy. I am stuck between Lagavulin 12 cask strength or an Octomore Islay barley, like a 0.3, one of the 0.3 releases. Like if you're going to give somebody the just full range of heavily peated Islas that are going to give you just like the absolute character of the island, Laphroaig 10 cask strength, Ardbeg 10. Winston, get down. I'm going to shoot you again with the gun. You're going to like it. You know it's coming. I don't know. Do you throw Lagavulin? Or maybe Loch Gorm? Yeah. No, I do too. I'm totally with you. he's just trolling me right now. So as folks know, Telex and I sunset our show after about 1.5 years. This was a little bit late last year. He has some other ideas on stuff he wanted to do, but he's been quiet for a while. I have not talked to him since I think early January. I could totally shoot him a text and just let him know folks are want to make sure he's okay. As far as I understand, he's doing fine. He's not in any peril. I think he's just taking some time away from the whiskey streams. But you know what? I'll tell you what. Text it right now. Let's shoot our boy a text. We'll say, hey, buddy, on a live stream. And folks are sending love your way and hoping all is well. Slunch. We'll see if he responds. I haven't talked to him. The last time I talked to him, according to my text messages, it was after the Ravens game, so it was late December. Yes, it's been a minute. But yeah, no, I mean, we ended our show. Our weekly stream. He was wanting to try doing a couple other things, kind of like bottle. I don't remember what he said it was. Just trying to profile some different bottles. He was going to do something a little different on his show. But he's not posted anything in a while, so I'm not sure. I mean, maybe he's just kind of given up on it or whatever. So I'm not sure. We'll see if he responds. Leo, Laphroaig 10 cask strength, Ugi Laga 12. Man, that's a trifecta. That is a trifecta. You might be right about Ugi just because it's so different. Ardbeg 10 is so classic, but Laphroaig 10 cask strength is kind of in that similar vein, bourbon cask. Maybe you do throw the Ugi in there. I could get on board with that. It's hard not to have a Lagavulin, but I also feel like Lagavulin is more similar to Ardbeg than like Bruichladdich, which makes me just like, do we throw a Bruichladdich in there? James Morgan, if you want to experiment, you will need high ABV. Take the lead, yeah. Like a 12 this year is over 200. Dude, seriously, I saw that too, man. The prices on those have got outrageous. The last one I bought was the 2019. I liked it, but it wasn't quite as good. And yeah, I'm sorry, man. They're like $180 to $200 USD even. It's just too much. So back to the Scorch. I do like the notes. It's creamy. It's got that like Woodford Reserve double oak or the, Heaven's Door double barrel kind of thing going on. A really rounded nose. But it's got that characteristic Ardbeg. Man, that's good. But a little bit hot. Finish leaves something to be desired. It kind of dissipates. Is it disappointing? Yeah. I don't know how they get away with it. This is actually more disappointing than I remember. The finish just disappears. And you're paying almost double that you would for like a Lefroy 10 cast strength. What can you do? Let's see. We heard from him. We'll give him another few minutes, but we are tasting Ardbeg Scorch committee release. Lager Distillers is also good value for interesting compared to Goodall. Yeah. I actually started doing a blend because I did not think the peated Bunas, like the Chochekada, was very good. With time, Ardbeg dominates the Buna. Interesting. I have not had the Chochekada. The most peated, I've had two heavily peated Bunas outside of the Moynia releases. I've had the Bunahaven Stoisha. I have a Jack Rose signatory pick of theirs. Good. And then I had that travel exclusive, the Krakvana, which was good. But I've heard some of the other stuff is a little bit on the pedestrian side. I'm about to try that stir pick Jack Daniel's barrel proof I was saying about. Yes, definitely. You should do that. It was like 65% ABV. Put it on your hazmat suit, man. Aaron, he's not going to the Titans. The Titans just reaffirmed that he's they're going with Tannehill again next year. I think Rodgers will probably be back with the Packers, if you ask me. How you feeling, Cohen, about your are you a Rams fan? I suppose, right? I mean, they are your team after all. Stafford gonna bring it home? That'll be fun to watch. I am gonna go for the Bengals, I'm not gonna lie. But my taste is always changing, but currently for bottles 100 or under, my favorite Islas are the Kilhoman, Loch Gorham, Port Charlotte 10, Isla, Lefroy, Tincture. Those are great picks, Andrew Page. Yeah. I mean, you can't. The Loch Gorham, I think, is the best. And I am not a big Kilhoman guy, as we've repeatedly found over the years. The Mocker Bay cast strength I loved, but I always think, the Loch Gorham, which is the 100% Oloroso, that one is just killer. Oh my God. Look out. Yeah. Agreed. Cohen's a Raiders fan. Cohen, are you Dodgers or Angels? I'm curious to hear this. And same with James Chang. And who else? There's another person in LA. Or James Chang is also in LA. You guys Dodgers or Raiders? Or Dodgers or Angels? Yeah, that's what I saw. I don't know if, is Lightning going to strike 3 times for Green Bay? I don't know about that, but we'll see. Personally, I think the Packers should give him a max offer, and we go as far as it can. You have to. Yes, hi, Winston. What do you need, man? He's back again, pawing at me. Let's see what he thinks about the Ardbeg Scorch. Nope. He's not having it. Ugh. Not convinced about the Rams, but I love Smoking Joe. Raiders are my first team. McDaniels won't do thing. Okay, fair enough. Hey, Daniel. What's in your glass tonight? At Malt Muser. Leather and cherry bomb, water and brown sugar, and a hit of cinnamon shows up on the JD. He's having the Jack Daniels barrel proof whiskey. Not the rye, but the other one. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know what? I wonder if that's what got batch 14 out so quick. It was like that, they got this new distiller, but like the fact that batch 13 and batch 14 of the 10 cast strength came out within like 3 months of each other is just bizarre beyond belief. All right, y'all. I have not heard back from Telex. I do promise, though, I will give you guys an update if I ever hear from him. I don't know what he's up to these days. Last check, he was fine, but hey, I super appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. Again, okay, he's Dodgers. Good. If you are a Patreon supporter, look in your email box a few minutes after this live stream ends. You will be getting the early release of the finals of the One Rider Rule Them All 20 Rhyme Bly Challenge. That is coming your way. For folks who haven't seen it, all 4 brackets are out. I would encourage you to check it out if you're interested in following along with this. I will drop the finals later this week. Glenn Roth's Whiskey Maker's Cut review drops Friday. Keep an eye out for that. As always, I will sign off, man. Saying stay safe and be well to everyone. This has been another really fun Tasty Tuesday happy hour. Appreciate you all. Like, comment, subscribe while you're heading out the door. If you've not done all 3, I will super appreciate it. And next week, we're going to be doing Amroot Spectrum 004. I cannot wait to chase this whiskey and share my thoughts with y'all. Appreciate everybody, man. Everybody stay safe, be well, man. Much love. Solange.